The road to WrestleMania has officially warmed up. We have our main event of Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns. However, where does Seth Rollins fit into this storyline? That is what we are going to be talking about today. We will be reviewing tonight's Monday Night Raw. I am joined by my good friend and noble steed, Pete Pistols Blacksall. How are you today, Pete?
Your noble steed?
I just thought I'd say something different than my good friend, because I say that on every podcast. So the first thing I could think of was noble steed.
Stop riding me. I don't like it.
Well, yeah, okay, I might have chose different words. But how are you, mate?
I'm all right. I'm good. I'm still breathing. No trauma attacks. All is well. All is good in the hood of this urban area. It's good.
That's absolutely fantastic, mate. I'm very glad to hear that.
Me too. Me too.
Yeah. So tonight's Raw, this is from the 12th of February, 2024. We are slightly delayed reviewing this one, mainly because of that darn Valentine's Day, where some people had a Valentine's and some just sat at home watching football, putting on bets. Here we are.
Just so the audience knows, because I don't want to be labelled as the second guy.
Nah. Here's this dice that we're going to roll. Let the audience decide. The one without a Valentine was me. But yeah, so we are a little bit later. They're planned. Hopefully next week we don't have that sort of delay, so we'll be able to get this out pretty quickly after Raw is live. It was filmed in Lexington, Kentucky, and the show opened with what was it? It was a recap, wasn't it? Again, of Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns main event in WrestleMania. Standard. If you're getting sick of them by now, get used to it, because you've got about another 8 weeks of that being shoved down your fucking throat on every promotion possible.
And you better enjoy it every time.
100% from the sadness that we had on last week's Raw. I think it was last week's Raw, right?
It was.
Yeah. So reflecting from 7 days ago, I think we're in a completely different position. We're in good health. We're a lot happier because this Raw is a bit more cheery. However, I have a slight confession to make that this was not a great Raw for myself. So I hope that doesn't fully affect this review. But I did not enjoy a lot of this.
I'm still here, so don't worry about that. If you're thinking about, oh no, the main host, Kieran, isn't going to like this, maybe I should turn it off. I'm still here. So you'll still get your little factoids and your constant giggles throughout. So it'll be fine.
Fantastic. I mean, I'm more upset now because I really should have got my introduction a lot better. I shouldn't have called you a noble steed. I should have really bigged up by saying, today, I have got a special guest who has never been here before. He is...
Reuse it. Don't worry. Wait for another one. It's fine.
It's all right, because the next time I'll be absolutely on it. Because we are lucky that we are joined today by Enzo Amore. Because I also I made a reference to your top before, looking like Enzo Amore. I also realized your microphone is the exact microphone that he also used to cut promos with. I rate it. I am absolutely for it.
It's what I was going for.
You are a certified G and a bona fide stud, and you can't teach that.
You know what? If I remembered more of the noughties, not the noughties, sorry, the 2010s onwards, I probably would have played along with this.
To be fair, they were not that memorable. They were good in NXT. They were really good, and I can't remember when they debuted. It must have been after a WrestleMania, a Raw after Mania, and they were shit hot. Like, not many NXT talent come onto the main roster, and everybody like cheers and knows who they are or who they were. They were good, and they never got the tag belts, which was an absolute travesty. I decided to have Enzo Amore against Big Cass, which was just the dumbest feud in the existence of the planet. But
I remembered Enzo Amore.
Right, is this you now just realising who Enzo Amore is?
Yeah.
because he's a certified G and a bona fide stud, and you can't teach that.
Oh, mate! He
Yeah.
dated Liv Morgan.
Yeah, and they've got five letters, I think. SAWFT. Soft. Soft. Honestly, they were so fucking over. I'm actually really annoyed that I can't remember all of his intro bit.
Yeah, because I remember his feud with his partner.
Yeah, Big Cass.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah,
So it's him
because
Big Cass at the time.
this right here is Big Cass, and he's 7 foot tall, and you can't teach that.
Right, yeah.
That it was literally like DX, not the yeah,
Not DX.
fucking
It wasn't like no.
yeah. They weren't DX. What were they called now? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages.
The Road Dogg, yeah, Road Dogg.
Road Dogg and Jesse J.
Road Dogg and Jesse, the Road Dogg, Jesse James and Billy Gunn.
Yeah. And the badass Billy New Age Outlaws, there we go. I knew it had come to me eventually.
They were in DX. They were in DX. But...
Yeah. I knew it wasn't DX though. That's what I mean. But yeah, New Age Outlaws, when they had their little shtick that they came out with, that's exactly what it was.
Do you remember Billy Gunn's character before that?
I can't off the top of my head, but I know that you're going to say it, and I'm going to go, oh, yeah.
I'm the ass man.
Well, isn't he carrying on that gimmick in AEW? Like, they're the ass boys now.
he did, but he has, yeah. He said he likes boys. I think he has boys.
Yeah. Disclaimer, we're not calling Billy Gunn a nonce. All right. Let's just put that one out there. He just likes their ass.
Yes, man. Yeah.
Oh, dear me. Well, as per, we've gone off on a tangent because that is just how we roll. But moving back to Monday Night Raw, the show actually opened with New Day's music hitting, and we were set for the 6-man tag match, which consisted of New Day, which was Kofi and Xavier, and main event Jey Uso against Imperium. So obviously all members of Imperium, with it being a 3-on-3. What did you make of the match, sir?
I enjoyed this match, mainly because it got the right result, but it was mainly for the result. I was a bit, I was kind of lost. I watched it, and then obviously we waited, so then I rewatched the highlights yesterday, during Valentine's Day.
Nice,
cheeky. And I rewatched it, and I thought pretty much, these highlights of 3.5 minutes summed up the entire match.
Yeah.
And it's like, I could do this every week.
Yeah.
But we won't go down the road because I won't. But I enjoyed it. I have nothing really to add to it. I thought they're really bigging up Jay's go for the Intercontinental. I think it might be Jay. I think it's got to be someone different. It's got to be someone younger. It's got to be someone that they're willing to give a big push to afterwards. 100%. So we've already said it's got to be Jay.
Yeah, that's it. It's interesting because I'm surprised, but I'm not that they're doing it now. Like obviously they're doing it on next week's Raw because Gunther hasn't got a visa to get into Paris or whatever. Whatever it is, he's not allowed to go. So they had to set this up before or after.
Which is weird in itself.
It's bizarre, really, isn't it? Like, obviously he's European and he's gone to America, but he can't go back to Europe for some reason.
It's for Perth, wasn't it? It's for Australia, Elimination Chamber.
Oh, God, yeah. I'm on a completely different pay-per-view here. Yeah, this is where my head's at today. Yeah, you're absolutely right. It's Australia. So that everything I've just said, ignore it because that's irrelevant.
It makes sense if Paris wouldn't let a German in. That'd make sense.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know why, but obviously there is the pay-per-view coming up in Paris, and for some reason, I think it's Backlash that's in Paris. Like that's months away. Yeah, bad moment for me. But so they've obviously then got to have the Intercontinental title match on Raw. Which I think is a bit of a shame. I think it was going to be a really, really good match. This was probably one of the highlights for me of the Raw. I thought it was a decent match, but I think the best thing about this match was it was storytelling. It was progressing. Yeah. There was a purpose to having the match. It moved the story along further. A couple of nice little spots.
Also, I mean, I'm not saying anything. I love the German people. My partner speaks fluent German. She's on the phone right now to a German person who lives in Germany because they always ring every week. But at the same time, everyone still loves to see a German lose. But it's just something about it. It's the Germans. It's just you've just got when you live and they lose, you're like, and again. It's like
no, I get you. But yeah, I think you said it before. It was definitely the right outcome, the right result.
Yeah.
To set it all up, like I was kind of leading in there with a couple of spots. I think a personal favourite of mine was when Gunther had one of the New Day members in a Boston Crab, and he's just yapping at Jey Uso, just giving him shit. And I can't remember what exactly he was saying, but he was just completely mocking him. And Jey Uso just gets up there, goes to square up to him, and just goes slap. Again, I would really prefer if it wasn't a slap, because I don't know what it is. I don't like a slap. I didn't like a slap when The Rock did it. I don't like a slap when Jey did it. Like, I'd rather him just give him a crack. Do you know what I mean? Just give him a punch, give him a super kick, you know what I mean? Whatever. Obviously, the purpose was to kind of give him that slap, you know, as in, like, I don't give a shit who you are, blah, blah, blah. So they could have that face off. Then they went to an advert break. What a stupid time to go to an advert break. Yeah. Like, you get a nice little spot like that, and then it goes, and we'll see you when Raw rolls back in 2. And it's like, no,
this is
why?
Do you know what I fancy now? A Slim Jim coming to you live. Oh, yeah!
Yeah! But yeah, just one of those where, like that little spot, I loved how they did the 3D. Because if you remember, you had Usos and New Day when they were feuding a few years back, and every match was a 10 out of 10 banger. Like, they were just that good. And they then kind of finished it, because I think, obviously, it was New Day face, Usos heel, and then I think Usos were just kind of turning face at the back end of that rivalry. So then it kind of turned into, like, the mutual respect, which is why you kind of have them kind of, well, Jey and New Day getting on and this, that, and the other. But the fact that they kind of implemented the 3D, I thought was a nice little touch. I mean, Jey kind of, he didn't get it as clean as he could.
No, he barely touched him. He caught him.
Yeah.
He didn't hurt him or anything, because he could have gone for it and he could have really hurt him. But he realized he was too far away, so he moved back a bit, jumped less off the ground, and then he barely caught him. But it didn't look great, but it was still a good idea.
Again, that's it, innit? It's wrestling, it's live. You get the there and now to get it right. It happens. You know what I mean? And most people ain't going to nitpick stuff like that. But, you know, the keen eye over here just kind of sees these things and just goes, oh, that's a shame. But I think, obviously, it was the 3D and then the splash for the win, I think, unless I am mistaken.
Was this the match, or was it the one the week before? It was just the one-on-one where Gunther went up to mock Jey Uso and he went up to do the splash.
Yeah, I think that was last week, because he
was
against
the one-on-one.
Was he against Kaiser last week, or was it was against Kaiser, right? Or was it against Vinci?
It was him and Jey Uso.
Gunther and Jey Uso.
They had a one-on-one yet?
No.
Then it was this match. It was this match then, when he goes up to the top corner, and he doesn't say yeet, but he says something.
Oh, you mean Gunther?
Gunther, yeah.
Right, I'm with you now. Yeah. Gunther started mocking him, doing a little hands thing, didn't he?
Yeah. And he went to do a splash on him, didn't he? But he missed.
Well, does Gunther do a splash? Gunther definitely has
mocking Jey by doing his splash.
Yeah, I know, but I'm sure that Gunther does have a top rope move. I can't remember what it is.
But I would think that, though, because Gunther every day.
It's not every day. It's just days where we talk about wrestling, my friend.
It's only when he calls me.
Yeah, Gunther is love, I say. Gunther is life. If you know, you know. But yeah, I thought it was a decent match. Like I said, really enjoyed the fact that it progressed the story, had a purpose, had a reason. Jey won, set them up for the Intercontinental match, an Intercontinental title match next week. For me, fantastic. Is Jey going to win? What do you think?
On Raw, I can't see it.
No, I was the same.
I'm telling you, what did I say a few weeks ago? They're not doing Jey and Jimmy at WrestleMania.
No, see, this is it. I hope not, but I have a really, really annoying feeling that Jimmy Uso is going to be the reason that Jey doesn't win. I think Jey is going to have Gunther beat, and Jimmy's going to turn up like he did against Roman Reigns, and that's what's going to kick off their feud. I know that we spoke last week, I think, about Jey getting the IC title, and I'm all for that. I hope they do that, but I just have this really annoying gut feeling that that's what Jimmy's going to do. He's just going to turn up and do exactly what he did and cost Jey another title, and that's what's going to ignite their feud. And I'm not really here for it, if I'm honest. But I might / hopefully I'm wrong, but that's just my gut feeling.
That with a lot of storytelling, a couple of stories in and out of different characters, different feuds of different characters, Jimmy and Jey would be an amazing thing to build to next WrestleMania. And as we know about WWE, they don't rush things.
No.
They love to take the time. They never push something that's not wanting to be pushed. The crowd decides.
Well, apparently. Like, what is it? Is it diplomatic when you listen to what other people's opinions are to make the choice? Is that right? That's basically what WWE is now. they don't make decisions. Everybody else does.
You're all fired.
R-Truth to be the undisputed champion. Oh, we will get to Truth later. We certainly shall. But yeah, that match finished. We then moved on to Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley, wasn't it? I think he came out to the ring, and then we had a nice little video package for Andrade, which I thought was nice. That. Yeah, I thought it was a nice little thing because I remember saying, I think on our Rumble review, I was like, happy that he's back. I just hope he doesn't get caught lost in the pack and just doesn't get used.
I thought he'd go to LWO or he'd get used in that feud, and you were like, I just hope that doesn't happen. Yeah. And it looks like he's not, unless that I remember what I was watching this package, anyway, he goes, I need to know, and now I know who I am. But he said it at the start, and he ends with, but now I know who I am. But the first time he said it, I need to know who I am, I went, Andrade. And every single time he said it, I go, Andrade. Andrade. And then he goes, no, I know. And he puts his sunglasses on. And then one of the commentators go, Andrade there. And I was like, I called it. I called it was Andrade the entire time.
I knew it.
Got to get up pretty early to get one over an old Pete Blackwell.
Yeah, I mean. Oh, yeah. I mean, I think the one thing that I noticed that I was quite happy about, I mean, I don't watch an awful lot of AEW, so this could have happened there, but his English has improved significantly.
Yeah.
His first run in WWE, he couldn't put a sentence together, and it really hurts. The fact that he's cut a promo there, it ain't great, it ain't amazing, but it's leaps and bounds better than what it was. I think that will be helpful, that he will be able to actually, be able to kind of cut a promo.
I think it was a minute and a half. Oops. I think the entire promo, or a minute 50, something like that, the entire promo.
Yeah, that's it. It was just nice and brief. And he's got his little mask thing. I can't remember the name for it, but that's obviously what he kind of brought. Yeah, it's Lucha something or other. Have I got it down on here? I've not. But yeah. I like that he's got that gimmick and he's not kind of gone back to the old ones. He's kind of brought what he did in AEW with him over here.
Yeah.
Fine. Where do I think he's going? Not a clue. I don't think he's going to be going anywhere until after WrestleMania, really.
No, definitely not.
I think it's just going to be the odd match here and there. Just keep him in our thoughts. After WrestleMania, they'll give him some sort of plan. Because I think a lot of things for WrestleMania are kind of decided. We're all on that road now.
But as soon as he's booked a match against anyone from the LWO or Santos, you're like, oh, he's going in that bracket.
Yeah, 100%. Like that. The good thing is that you've got like LWO on SmackDown and him on Raw. They've put them on separate brands, so I'm quite pleased about that. But I think the biggest worry would be, actually, I say the biggest worry, even if they put him on SmackDown and mixed him in with all that, at least he'd be doing something. But I'm happy to play the long game and wait.
I reckon they'll give him to someone, first match, they'll give him to someone who's been pushed, someone like Bronson Reed or Ivar, someone like that, someone who's been pushed recently. And Yeah, but anyway, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a very reasonable shout, to be fair. But speaking of Bronson Reed, it's a nice little what you call it?
My calls were way off from last week.
Oh, I was just about to say that. I was
Yeah.
the exact same as you because I was absolutely adamant on where this was going. So we had Bobby Lashley against big Bronson Reed for the Elimination Chamber qualifying match. And I giggled because I just remembered what I wrote down on my notes. And on there was Bronson Reed's new opening to his entrance. I don't know if you caught it. He's Godzilla. He is Godzilla, just whacking buildings down. On my life, right? It was the best thing I have ever seen. Because before, he'd have his music, it'd go dark, and then he'd be kind of stood, and the camera would come up behind him. And it'd be I really liked it. I thought, that's quite cool. It shows how big he is. No, not now. He just basically is walking through this town, just bashing buildings down. And he's just like, big Bronson Reed. Yeah, I hit down buildings. And honestly, I'm creasing because I'm like, it's so fucking dumb, but I love it. I am here for it. And then he just kind of literally does all this bashing the buildings, and then it all kind of turns to like brick, and he just comes out like, ah! And I'm just like, brilliant. It's just, again, so bad. But for me, I loved it. I thought it was great. So that's clearly what he's coming out with. Well, coming out to, should I say, every week. And I'm really sad you didn't see it because I know you would have done the exact same thing. Honestly, you'll have to go on like YouTube or something afterwards and find it because it's that good. It really is that good. But yeah, what did you think of the match?
See, no, we both thought that what was going to happen. So we thought what was going to happen was Karrion Kross and the Jesus Lovers. The Jesus Lovers. we thought that. Yeah.
Oh God,
we thought,
I love that. They were sorry to cut you off, but it's the fact that last week you were calling them racist. Now the Jesus Lovers this week, they have U-turned.
Not really, mate. It's one in the same.
They're still boring and shit. But apart from that,
one in the same.
Sorry, go on, mate.
Don't get me started on the Catholic Church's stance on the Holocaust. Do not, because I will go for a while. Yeah, no, it was. I thought he was. We both thought he'd come out and cost Bronson Reed, not Bronson Reed, Bobby Lashley his shot, and everyone. Plus, you think Bobby Lashley, quite old now to be in Elimination Chamber. He draws a crowd, but he's getting on. Like he's retired like twice. It's like let Bronson have it. He can't climb the cage, but he could probably jump through it. Like give him a go. But and obviously Bronson being from Eastern Australia, it's in Perth. It's Western Australia.
I think he's Brisbane. I think where he's from.
Yeah, Eastern Australia. So it's the opposite, but you still think Australia. You know, he's got to go home at some point. Why not do it there? So I was shocked with it, and it wasn't. It was a terrible spear. It wasn't a great match. It had some bits and bops in it, but I was completely wrong. And to be honest, I was disappointed with it. I don't want to see Bobby Lashley get pushed.
Yeah,
I want Bobby Lashley back in that management position with the Street Profits. I enjoy that. I don't enjoy Bobby Lashley trying to. He's still huge and he can still do it, but
yeah,
it's like you've been pushed.
I completely agree with what you're saying. I completely echo that. Same thing. Like when he hit the spear, and then it was literally like the 1, 2, 3. I was like, huh.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't see that. Well, you know, one of them when you're just like, well, I was expecting that.
Cole called it on too. He spears him, and it was like a done deal. And he goes, and Bobby Lashley's going to the Elimination Chamber, and he said it before 3 hit.
For fuck's sake!
I also don't know why I don't know why I gave Michael Cole an urban voice. Then I do apologize. I just got excited. Mother, you see that?
Oh come on, man! This is some bullcrap right here.
Okay, Michael.
Yeah, but yeah, I was pretty surprised. Again, I thought it was okay, but I think my judgment was clouded because I was forever watching it, going, "Where's Karrion Kross? Where's Karrion Kross?
Yes, exactly.
Oh, is he gonna come in now? Oh, is he gonna? You know?" And that's all I was looking out for because I was absolutely set that was what was going to happen.
If you think of it just as a standalone match, I would rate Jey Uso's and Bronson Reed's from the week before a much better match on its own.
Oh, without a shadow of a doubt.
So what does that say about if they were even if you weren't thinking about Karrion Kross, it's like their match wasn't as good as what they could have done, and I think it's because I don't know. I like Bobby Lashley. It seems like I'm just on a hate parade of Bobby Lashley. I'm not. I just thought it would have been cool to see Bronson Reed in the Elimination Chamber to see what he could have done.
Wholeheartedly agree. I mean, he was in last year's Elimination Chamber and he was fucking brilliant in it. Like, he really, really excelled. Like, you literally watched it and you was like, Bronson Reed's actually all right. Like, I think there was Reed, was it Montez Ford and Gargano? I think the three of them were in and they were like, it was one of those where they all went.
Montez Ford went to the top, wasn't it?
I think it was. Yeah. I might be wrong or I might be getting muddled, but I'm sure you kind of watched those guys and you was like, oh no, these guys can fucking go. Like, do you know what I mean? You could see it and it was like, yeah, good. You're putting over this talent that not many people are exposed to or know about or anything like that. Yeah. And again, with it being in Australia, I think that's got to be the biggest kick in the dick to fucking Bronson Reed, man. Like, yeah, obviously a big country, blah, blah, blah. But still, in front of your own people, he would probably get cheered. And that must be quite a big personal thing for yourself. You know what I mean? And so for them to turn him down for honestly, an ice cold Bobby Lashley. He ain't hot at the minute. He's done nothing. No. Not saying that Reed has been hot, but
he has. He had that mint. He's had some sick match. That Ivar match the week before his and Jay's match was min.
Yeah. No. I mean, like, winning. I don't think he's been winning all these matches. He's been losing quite a lot. But even so, I think for me, I personally think they should have put Reed in that match. And it would be interesting to see if they give him anything. Because if they don't give him anything to do for a show that's in, like, his home country, I think is incredibly harsh on their part.
I think, though, a lot of people watching it take it like we watch it. It's like, I don't really look at wins and losses. I really don't. I look at what matches were entertaining and what I'd like to see again. And Bronson Reed is entertaining. Apart from that match with Lashley, it all seemed a bit stiff. It just didn't not stiff, but it just seemed a bit boring. It was just compared to the last 2 weeks with Ivar and then Jay. It was just like, this isn't good compared to them. And you know Bronson can do it, so who's the common denominator there? It's not Bronson.
And it is, and to put that in comparison, it's not even like saying, oh, it's because he's against a big guy. Like, Ivar's a big guy. You know what I mean? Like, it's like Jey Uso is excellent. Jey Uso is over as fuck, and he's a really, really good wrestler. Like, he could make it work with most people. You know what I mean? Like, people aren't going to be bored like that. But then you can be like, oh, it's big guy v big guy. But then you can't use that argument because you had him and Ivan. Like you said, it was a really entertaining match. You know, for two guys who were realistically on that lower card to go and have a match, I wouldn't say it weren't a 10 out of 10, but it was a good match to watch and a lot more interesting than this one. Like, I completely agree with you.
Yeah.
But so Lashley's going to in the chamber. He's there with McIntyre and Orton. I think really what they're trying to do is put the biggest names in there because a lot of the big names, they've obviously lost Punk to injury. They've lost Rollins to injury. They've lost Lesnar due to his shenanigans. So you've got big name. All these guys.
What do you mean?
You've then obviously like Rock and Reigns weren't scheduled to go either. So all your big guys aren't there. So I think in their head, they're putting the biggest names in just to make it more interesting. And that's the only thing I can think of. But
if you do that, then what are going to be the undercards?
Well, this is the other side of it, because the Elimination Chamber matches are going to take a while, aren't they? It's like the Money in the Bank matches. You know, you're talking a good hour a piece. I'd say a good 45 to an hour each. And so what's that? It's probably about, three and a half hours by the time you've done a PLE?
You'll have the tags, so you'll have DIY and thingy, but, I mean,
it's Dunn and Bates, isn't it?
Oh,
Dunn and Bates against Judgment Day.
They're not going to win.
No. And then, I was going to say friggin' Bailey and Io Sky, but they're at friggin' WrestleMania, aren't they?
Yeah.
I'm all over the place today.
Oh, it's
reviews, man.
It's Rhea Ripley against...
Yes, Nia Jax. I'm going to save my weekly segment of talking like Nia Jax for the segment with Becky Lynch because I can't wait. Because I listen to other podcasts when I'm in work, when I'm literally cleaning my windows, got my headphones in, and I just go with it. Listen to these guys.
Where do you think we get all of our material from?
Hey, we don't get it from those guys. I do pinch the odd things. I definitely pinch their one of their intro, not the intro the other week that they used. You know, the one about Rhodes when he said to Punk, "I'm more CM Punk than you are."
Yeah,
And then it was like, "Yeah, you are more CM Punk because you've also got your fucking spot taken from The Rock and yeah, like all that kind of stuff." So yeah, I listened to those guys and they kind of review it. And then the moment they started talking about Nia Jax, and I'm literally cleaning the windows, just going, because I'm just doing my Nia Jax in my head because it just happens every single fucking week, and I love it.
I don't even have to do them. All I have to do is.
For me, it's just no. I'm not doing it. I'm saving it.
Okay,
I'm saving it because I can't wait. I can't wait. We'll get to it.
Let's
I don't think we're too far away from it.
Let's roll
But
on.
yes, when Raw rolls on. But we then had Sami Zayn sat in an empty stadium again. So this seems to be a weekly thing now. Sami doesn't turn up to the show. Sami just sits in the stands and stares longingly into the distance, thinking about Elimination Chamber last year.
He's thinking.
I know. I love Sami Zayn. But the thing that just gets me the most is Sami's probably sat there in the stadium having a moment. And Jackie Redmond's probably in the back going, Sami's there on his own. I might go see if he's okay. And then sits there. So, Sami, see, what you can't see is I've got my leg crossed underneath the table. But, you know, just trying to do an interview of Paul. Yeah, just, you know what I mean? And then, obviously, she starts rambling on. So, essentially, Sami Zayn was kind of mentioning similar things to last week's promo, really. It was the whole, you know, like, I believe in myself, but I keep letting people down and yada, 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 yada. You know, like, he said that he lost his WrestleMania opportunity on SmackDown. He just kind of says that he just feels sorry for himself, really, and he started believing in himself, and, you know, that kind of shtick. And then
but on the plus side, on the Titantron, another one of his. It wasn't a manga one this time. It wasn't a manga with that. I love that manga one with him and Cody Rhodes when he's just showing them both as cartoons. Oh mate, I love that. But I'm wondering how many more and I love Shinsuke Nakamura. I think he's great. I think these promos are great, but they're all very one note.
Yes,
and I'm wondering how many more I can take with how many more different people.
Yeah, and the issue is they all end the same in Shinsuke losing. Like, oh no, they don't. I lied to you. But
no, not this one. No,
not this one. But it's one of those where I'm similar to that. Where I kind of this was me at the time watching it, and I think Shinsuke. What did he say? He said Zayn wants the sympathy of the people, and he's a clever guy, just like Cody Rhodes. So, he's talking about Cody Rhodes again. We haven't seen that before. They swindle people, but if Sami Zayn doesn't let his real emotions out, he won't tolerate that. Nakamura will pick up Zayn's soul and keep his warpath moving forward. And I was sat there and went, what fucking warpath? You've done nothing but lose. There's no warpath whatsoever. You're just literally fucking face first on the warpath, just like...
Did you get bullets to the balls last week?
Literally, like, it's just so dumb. Like, they're the sort of things that really annoy me. When people are like, it's like what Karrion Kross did week after week. We'd be after somebody's like, I'm going to continue my destruction. It's like, you destruct nothing. You just lose. Like, what are you talking about? Make it make sense. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, fair enough. You need to just talk the game, but yeah, where's that rug? Let's just sweep it under there. But yeah, it's just so fucking dumb. But yeah, we then go from that. And, well, to be fair, actually, I really enjoyed Sami's, like, emotional, like, his emotions whilst that was all happening. It was kind of like, like, it was almost like that surprise, like, oh, my God. Like,
he looked confused.
Yeah, like, huh? How is the Titantron talking to me? How did he know I was here? I was just sat here having a moment to myself until Jackie Redmond interrupted me. Like, yeah, it was just another one of those dumb things that happens in wrestling because that's just wrestling for you. After that, we then saw Cody Rhodes having a little wander backstage. So we were having Cody Rhodes next. This led to probably the best part of the show. In my opinion, I thought this was the best part. I thought this was a really, really good segment. If you want, I don't know, do you want to take it away? Tell us what happened. Share your thoughts on it.
I've not got your notes, so I'm not too sure what happened, and I'll go from there.
That's absolutely fine. So I shall begin. So we had Cody Rhodes, who comes to the ring. Everyone was chanting Cody, as they do, because they love Cody. Cody is the best. Please let him win at WrestleMania. And,
Please.
you know, he came out with his standard shenanigan, or standard catchphrase.
Lexington, Kentucky!
Yeah. What do you want to talk about? And it's
I was really hoping, honestly, as a joke, I was really hoping he was going to go, Lexington, Steel? Everyone pop for Lexington Steel.
Yeah!
Woo! In a red state down south. Woo, 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 woo! Ay, 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 ay.
Lexington South Home's like, yeah. Damn straight, dog.
Go, baby, get up from there. Look what they're saying on TV.
Yeah! Oh, for fuck's sake. But, yeah, Cody Rhodes, he turns around, confirms again that he's challenging Roman Reigns for the title. Fine. Bog standard stuff.
What else did he do? And there you go. That leads us on to another match that's possible elimination chamber. Him and The Rock.
Who? Rhodes and The Rock?
Well, he called out The Rock.
Well, yeah, I am leading to that. Like I said, disclaimer, I had all my notes jotted down and I've changed location and I've lost said notes. So now I'm currently trying to look at what went down on like a full detailed thing.
We've gotten so far along without you mentioning that, but okay, you fine.
I know, but it has to, because it makes sense, because you're talking and I'm just going derp, derp, derp. Like, it's not ideal. But, yeah, Cody Rhodes starts going on about how, you know, he's like getting emotional and stuff, like, grow up. And then he's like, I don't want to get emotional because then I would be a crybaby. And everyone's like, ooh, he referenced himself. Self-burns are the rarest kind of burns.
I did like him showing the Pat McAfee show from ESPN. Yeah, I thought that was really cool.
That was really, really good. Yeah, I completely agree.
To be honest, I hadn't seen that segment before the Thursday thingy, so I don't think a lot of fans have seen it, to be honest. But The Rock was pushing him and Reigns so hard, and you watch it again, and you're like, because he was pushing it so much, and he was using the Rock's lingo and everything like that.
Yeah.
And it was like he's trying to get everyone on his side, but you're slagging off the biggest babyface in the company for the last 10 years. Yeah. And he is.
Yeah, like it's brilliant. I mean, that was good because, again, I completely agree, completely same as you. I'd not seen that. I'd heard about it.
Yeah,
but I'd not watched it. And from seeing it, it felt like that was old school Rock. You know what I mean? Like that was like a proper Rock promo. Like he was just on it. Do you know what I mean? Like everything he was delivering was just like bam, bam, bam. Rather than his stupid one from the press conference was like, his father is my father, his uncle is my uncle. And it's like, no, do you know what I mean? Like this was a proper Rock promo.
That's because The Rock used to be able to do that just off the cuff. Because he was there week in, week out. He knew exactly what people wanted. Now he's not really too sure. That Pat McAfee segment, that was written. 100%. Written by him, more than likely. But that's why he nailed all these speaking points. And he sounded just like he used to sound.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, where he's like, yeah, I am The Rock. Yeah, no. Just wanted to have that little dig at The Rock. But yeah, and then he started going on about chicken nuggets, didn't he? Where he's like, he can get 5 chicken nuggets, 10 chicken nuggets, 20 chicken nuggets, and shove them right up his candy ass, and all this. So I just remember that because that's obviously what builds onto here. So you kind of had that, and I really, really enjoyed what they did was they were going on Cody, but they were just glancing, odd camera pan on Pat McAfee, just looking at Pat, and you could see Pat kind of just slouching a bit more.
Whatever gets Pat McAfee more screen time, I'm happy.
I can't even.
Yeah, you love him. You do, you love him. Everyone loves Pat McAfee.
Nana. They do not, my friend. I can confirm. But yeah, he just kind of stood there, didn't he, Rhodes, after that? And he was like, so what do I do with the chicken nuggets? The crowd loved that. They was like, yeah, he's taking the piss. He ain't gonna shove it up his ass. And it's like,
fried chicken.
like,
Okay,
you
Lexington.
know what I mean? Like, I kind of Lexington. He's like, yeah, honestly, like they really popped for that. Whereas I kind of just went, haha. But the crowds went nuts for the fact that he referenced the fucking chicken nuggets. Fairs, whatever. And then he kind of turned on McAfee, didn't he? He kind of was like, so what should I do with them, Pat? You tell me, Pat. And he's like, just literally, just absolutely, just bottled it. And he was just like, oh, right, yeah. Which, yeah, fair enough. It just shows that Pat McAfee is a bellend, really. That behind Cody's back, he's going to give him shit. And then when it comes to him, he's like, no, like, I don't know what you mean. I don't think, no, you eat chicken nuggets through your mouth, not your bum. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that was kind of like
you
his
take
stance.
your nasty and negative words about Pat McAfee, and you get the hell off this podcast.
Do you know what? You've not had a problem with me saying I don't like Pat McAfee the past few weeks, and all of a sudden you're making an issue out of this.
Because he's a good character. He's good for the brand.
He's not a character. He's an annoying human being.
I know.
He's no character.
If you watch that segment again with him and The Rock on his ESPN show, he's just sucking The Rock off. He's just obsessed with him, and he's just a massive wrestling fan. He's the biggest fan of whoever's in the room.
Yeah, watching it once is enough for me. I don't need to see that more than once.
Yeah.
Like, but yeah, he is. He just sucks The Rock off. Like, that's basically what his character is, or his real person is. Either are. Right. But yeah, you then had Rhodes saying that he's a fan of The Rock. He says everyone has been a fan of The Rock at one point in their career, in their life. One thing Rock does not do well is listen. At the press conference, he said nothing to defile his ancestors, which is pretty ironic because that's what's true, which is exactly what we said last week. Where it's like they were slagging off Cody's dad. Cody didn't even really, he just said that your grandfathers would be fuming with you because
no, he said your grandfather would be ashamed of you to Roman Reigns. That's all he said.
I'm sure he made reference to both. Oh, no, because, yeah, that's why it was like, his grandfather is my grandfather.
No, he did. He said, if your grandfather were here, so he said, your grandfather would be ashamed of you, and he went, don't slag off my granddad. He's like, he's slagging off you, dude. It's like, hey, Pete, you're a prick. Don't call my dad a prick. It's like oh, no.
If you're calling my dad, you're calling his dad.
It was getting stupid. It wasn't well thought out, and it wasn't.
No, yeah. I completely agree. It was a bit bizarre, really. But he said The Rock slapped him in his face in public, and he basically kind of said that if you're gonna hit me in the face, then I'm gonna fucking get you back. And everyone was like, ooh, you know, everyone kind of loved that. That was pretty decent. Everyone was a big fan. And then Seth Rollins' music hits, and you're thinking, oh, where's this going to go?
I did enjoy it immensely.
Again, I know that you've had your choice words on Seth Rollins. I know that I've said I'm not a fan of Seth Rollins' character. However, I must say he delivered another excellent promo.
So they've been trying to turn him face for the last year since he's had this title nearly 295, 6 days, something like that.
Who was Seth?
Yeah.
Christ on a bike. I can't believe that title's like not far off a year now.
I know. Crazy that, isn't it? But yeah, he's had it like nearly a year, and they've been trying to get him as a face. And obviously the people love him. Most people love him because of the whoa and all that. I get it. I understand it. It's what I said to you a million times. I like who he's supposed to be. I just don't like how he acts in that character sometimes.
Yeah.
There was a laugh at the press conference that he did, where he did a really short one, and I was like, that's the one. Keep that one. Yeah. It's when he elongates it, he just makes it. He's like, oh, I'm bored of you. I'll be honest, I fast-forwarded. I didn't watch it live, obviously, but I fast-forwarded through him being in the ring doing this because it just bores me now.
Oh, I do that every time. Every time, I just kind of literally go, skip 10 seconds, skip 10 seconds. Has he got a microphone in his hand yet? And then we'll watch. Yeah, sorry, go on.
This was like he did this whole thing about he's sick of people bullying, thinking they can do whatever they want. It was a really good promo, And the one thing that got me was there's one person there who is built to be your protector. He's custom built basically to be your shield. And I was like, oh, you've got me. You've finally hooked on the line for Seth Rollins.
Yeah, 100%. It's one of those where when you're going to cut a promo like that, you need to have, like, I know we've mentioned it before, some good lines in there, some effective lines. I know we mentioned, like, last week or the week before, you was like Cody Rhodes, who's like one of the top dogs at doing it. I'm like Punk, the exact same. Every promo, you know he's going to put something in there that's just going to bang and just hit the point. Yeah. And Seth Rollins this week, not saying he does all the time, but this week, that line, as soon as he hit that line, everyone's like, yeah. Everyone cheers. Watching at home, you're just like, yeah, bang on. I have got time for that. Like, I'm all for it. But again, it was a really good promo. Just, I really, really enjoyed the aspect of even backtracking on Rollins' character, where Rollins turns around and he goes, right, what's your plan, Cody? Because obviously he was the architect. He always has a plan. He always knows what's going on, this, that, and the other. That was his whole gimmick in the Shield. And he's like, you've got a plan. You went in there last time and you got outnumbered. What are you going to do this time? You need to go in there prepared. You can't just rock up and think you're going to win because you're Cody freaking Rhodes.
I've had another recent revelation. Well, do you know what I said my original one was The Rock. Yeah. Turning on him. Now I think all of Roman's chickens are going to come home to roost at WrestleMania. There's going to be even heels. So there's going to be Seth outside the ring. There's going to be LA Knight. There's going to be Drew. There's going to be every single one of them who've been screwed over by, and they're just there to watch Cody win. I would love that. And that would be an amazing end to the Bloodline story. Every single person who's been screwed over surrounding that ring, taking care of Solo and Jimmy, Jey on the outside, Jey finishing off Jimmy on a table or something like that, LA Knight or someone else doing something to Solo, Randy Orton being on the outside, not even faces, but just even Drew McIntyre being there as well. And then just everyone standing on the outside of the ring so there's nowhere to go, and it just being Cody and Roman.
Yeah, I love that. I think, I mean, you said it there. I think only faces can do that. I don't think you could throw a Drew McIntyre in there, only because of how his character is now. If he was face, 1,000,000%. But I just don't think that'd quite have to fit. But if you're talking Jey Uso, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, Randy Orton, there's 4 faces that can come and. Did I not even say LA Knight?
No.
Christ, 5 there. Literally, you have them in. I think that's one avenue they can go down of how Roman loses it, is that the standard shenanigans try to happen. Solo tries to appear. Obviously, he had a segment, we might as well jump to it now. We had a segment with Sammy later on where he's like, I'm glad you had my back. I've got your back. I'll always have your back. Like, da-da-da-da. And it's like he's building his own, like, his own squad, isn't it? His own backup, his own stable. You know, you starting with Sami Zayn. You know that he's going to get Jey Uso in there. You know that Sammy's going to call KO. You know what I mean? Like, well, you can just see it.
He already got Jey, didn't he? Because he's the one who pulled Jey after Jey said deuces, which was one of the worst exits I've ever seen in my life. But he got him to come to Raw like the week after, the Monday after that Raw, that SmackDown. So you know that Jey's going to be in it. He's got Sammy, that was already done. Wherever Sammy goes, KO eventually goes, or the other way around. And he's definitely going to get LA Knight. I think LA Knight's just going to be there. I hope they do it that way, because it's like, even though every single one of them want the title, they just want to see Roman lose it.
Yeah.
Seth's obviously going to be on the outside.
Yeah, they've all got screwed. They've all been screwed over by Reigns, so they want to make sure that he gets screwed over as their payback. Yeah, they want to be champ, but like you said, they want Roman to just lose it, which I completely agree. I could see something like that, and that was it. I wanted to kind of set, a bit of a discussion for where you think it is all going to go. In the end of it all, like I said, we've covered the majority of that promo with Seth. Like, superb work. Essentially saying, like you said, he's going to be the Shield. He's going to have Cody's back. He needs to have a plan. We've kind of touched upon that. But
do you know what I did after? What? Really quickly, you know what I did after watching that promo? After watching Raw, I revisited that promo because it was so early on. Rewatched it, and then I spent an hour and a half watching Shield Great Moments, and I was like, "Oh yeah, God, how good they were! How much they saved that show, those shows."
they were outrageous. Just to have 3 guys from NXT form this group, and they are skyrocketed to the main event, and they deservedly so. They were so good. So like, I mean, again, the highlight for me was just the Shield and Wyatt family feuds.
Brilliant.
They were just top tier. But go on.
R.I.P. But even Seth's turn was brilliant as well. It was just Roman's push. That was the only thing that went wrong with all of that, because no one wanted Roman to be face, and he was, and it's like, ugh.
It was the Cena treatment. If Reigns had got over naturally and got there naturally, but it wasn't. It was just, he's the main event. You're going to like this, and just shoving it down your throat. Like, you haven't got a choice. This is what's happening. It's like,
I'm not being funny though. If it worked in Vince's sex life, why wouldn't it work?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, well played, mate. Well played. That's good content. But going full circle, where you think this leads, because you've now got Rollins, who's very, very much included in this. It was the Cody and Reigns thing.
Yeah,
then the Rock's kind of come into it, and Rollins is really heavily involved in this. Where do you still think it's going to be Rollins and McIntyre at WrestleMania? Do you think they're going to set up a tag team match with Rhodes and Rollins against Rock and Reigns? Do you think it's going to be Rollins and The Rock for the title?
No. WrestleMania.
What do you think? Where do you think it's going?
It's a good one, that. I didn't even know. It's got to be the winner of the Elimination Chamber against Rollins. They've already announced that. I mean, yeah, WWE have announced a lot in the last few weeks and gone back on everything.
Yeah, this is what I mean. Does The Rock enter himself in there?
I think it's set in stone, but The Rock's not going to win a title because he's not there for that. They basically, I think what I heard was they want him to be a board member on TKO, because he's already part of the WWE board. But they want him on the board at TKO. But that deal includes X amount of matches with WWE.
Okay.
So I saw you roll your eyes, and you didn't even mean to, but you're completely right to.
I do. Okay. Yeah. I mean, that's just. We don't need that, do we?
But longevity, that's what you want now. You don't want an aging 50 to 60-year-old superstar there to win it. You want people that you're interested in. That was in the mid 2000 and somethings, when everyone was boring and it was lame, and you had like Randy Orton, you had Edge sporadically, and you had Cena, and then everyone else, you had the Miz there sometimes. Everyone else, when a superstar came back, you were like, oh my god, yes, they're back. It's amazing, because it's like spices things up. Right now, your roster is shit hot. It's on fire. It's mint. There's so many people who can perform. Do you know what I mean? It's like you don't want to.
Sorry, I'm not laughing at you. It just made me laugh because your pause threw me for about a second. It was, the roster is shit hot. And I was kind of went, is he saying the roster? Oh, no, there we go.
I got it.
Like what it was, that split second of me thinking, is he calling the roster shit? Hot. Yeah, there we go. We're fine. We're okay. We're back on track. But yes, 100%, mate. 100%. You're absolutely right.
You don't want to see The Rock, because you're like, The Rock can get a title, cool, but then you're going to, every single match he's going to get, you're going to be like, right, he's going to lose this. Or you're like, which one's he going to lose to? So it doesn't make it entertaining anymore, because you know he's not going to keep it for an X amount of time.
No, that's it. I think
if KO got a title, if Sammy got a title, if Jey Uso got a title, any of these, you're like, oh, I don't know. If Gunther gets another title, if Gunther goes up for the World Heavyweight, you're like, who's going to take it off him? Because they're there. They're there to stay. They're there doing it.
Yeah. No one could take the Intercontinental belt off him, so who's going to take the World Heavyweight off him? Like, it's like you said, it's just all those things that just roll into one of just a bit more of the unexpected. But I'm hoping after WrestleMania, Rollins is going to drop the title, and we just it needs freshening. I think that's the one problem we've got. I think Reigns, obviously, it goes without saying that, I don't want to say his reign's gone stale, but you just want Rhodes to do it, because then you just want that era of Rhodes to begin and just see where that takes us.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And same for Rollins.
Let me throw you a bit of juicy fruit over here. No. What do you think? Cody wins. Everyone's on the outside. Everyone starts to go back in. Boom! Music hits. Damian Priest comes out.
Honestly, that would be incredible. Like, everyone's waiting on this time. Cody's finished his story. Oh no, we haven't even got off the first page.
Well, what would be great if that happened, and this is all fucking ifs and buts and all that, but what would be great if that happened would be after, especially Judgment Day. It's like Judgment Day's reign at the minute, and like how they're on top of everything, how they're all over everything. Gets up to WrestleMania just like that, keeping the same speed, all of that, even if they keep the tag belts and stuff like that, which I don't want them to because I hope DIY get them, if that's where it's going, which I'm pretty sure it's going there. But then for him to come out, Damian Priest, and then lose, it'd be awesome.
It would be an interesting wrinkle. Like I think he is going to lose. I think that's what's going to potentially split up Judgment Day. I think is that I've noticed a lot more. We will get into Judgment Day when we get there, but I might as well kind of put this one out there now. That I think we mentioned it last week. The Priest looks more like the leader. He won't do much. He's like the final boss. You know, like you've obviously got like the lackeys in like JD and Dom, but then you've even got Finn Balor that is beneath. Like, and that segment shows later on. Like I said, we'll get to that as and when, but it will be a plot twist that Priest loses his match when he goes for it. Then what happens? Do they kick him out? Like, how the dimensions all change? And I think that's where they're going to go, because I can't see him winning either of those titles. Assuming it's going to be Cody that's going to take it. He ain't taking it off Cody. No. And the World Heavyweight, I mean, I'm not... it'll be Drew that'll get that.
It'd be good to see Drew beat Rollins, and then Damien heel beating heel, and then Priest.
See, that would be incredible, because that then goes full. I think that's a very, very valid shout for WrestleMania, because Drew McIntyre. Go.
I was going to say, you've got that. You've got your new bloodline then. You've got Judgment Day constantly supporting and screwing everyone out of the World Heavyweight.
Yeah. I mean, absolutely. But do we want that again? Do we want something is that quite stale? Do we want a bit of freshness? But my point being that it goes full circle. Drew McIntyre's done nothing but complain about things happening to him all the time that's not his fault. He blamed Priest last time for one of his matches for trying to come and cash in whilst he was mid-match. That distracted him. That's why he lost. So going full circle there, Priest is like, you wanker, I've just took that title off you again. This is your big no. You know, and then Priest is gonna be like, Drew's gonna be like, you know, a very, very angry Scotsman that he's actually done the job and someone's come and stole it off him. It'll be brilliant. It will be brilliant. That would be brilliant.
Heel v heel. When was the last time you saw that? Like, heel taking it off heel, because you don't know who you want. You're like, yeah, whoever wins, it's great.
Yeah. I think everyone would cheer for Drew because of how good he's been as a heel. I think if you had to go for a choice between the two, people would be cheering Drew, because everyone's just like, no, you're a dick, but you're being so good at being a dick that we want you to win.
Be fair, though, him being a dick, it comes so naturally to him. Like, because it's like he's getting cheered for being a heel for hating CM Punk when he actually hates CM Punk. It's like me being cheered for drinking. Like, I love to drink. And it's like people going, yeah, Pete, you can do it. It's like, I know, it's great. It's awesome. Cheers, guys.
Go.
Cheered for something as a bad guy, but he enjoys doing that bad thing. So it's like,
oh dear, love that. But you think like going again back to the first question of where we think Seth's going to go with it all. I think it's tough to call. I think it's a wrinkle in the WrestleMania, you know, lineup or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
I think mainly because it's tough to call, because they're going to want him to get in there. And like, whilst we're on the subject, that little promo thing that they've done, that they apparently showed it first at the Super Bowl, of, you know, basically Rock, Reigns and Rhodes and Rollins squaring up and stuff. Just advertising WrestleMania. Love that. But that also makes you think there's got to be something going on there. And I think they are, from what I've heard, and I think is a reasonable shout, I'll obviously get your take on it, is that they're probably going to push towards a tag match between the four of them to go down on night one, and then it'll be Reigns and Rhodes night two. And obviously he'll win the title. But the tag match, in theory, is A, to get Rock on there and get his match. B, so that Rock doesn't have to wrestle a full match on his own for a title for half an hour plus, because they don't think he's going to be able to handle it.
What do they mean?
So they can put him in a tag. He can come out, do his spine buster, do this, that, and you know, he can do his bits. That's fine. He can then take his 20-minute rest whilst Roman Reigns is walking around the ring, just giving shit to the crowd, like, you know what I mean? Like, just standing there, acknowledge me. Like, we've got a match going on, Roman. It's been 45 minutes, mate. Everybody must acknowledge me.
Cody,
you know what I mean?
Cody on the mat going, not yet. It's only been 5 minutes. Not yet.
In my soul. Everyone loves Cody Rhodes. That includes the little crybabies. And so on and so forth.
Babies!
But yeah, that's the rumour. How do you feel about that? The tag match on night 1 and then the actual main event on night 2.
Bored. I think that it should be the winner of the Elimination Chamber versus Rollins for night 1. I think I wouldn't be surprised if to link it all together, if The Rock came out and fucked over Rollins. I don't know for what reason. I don't know for the world heavyweight. On night 1 and then night 2 is just going to be Cody and Thingy. I don't think it should be that tag.
I think it's just their way of getting The Rock in there. I think that's pretty much the main gist of it. But from what I've heard, they're still propositioning that you'll have Rollins and Drew night 2. And Rollins will drop it because they'll be like, oh, yeah, well, I had that match the night before. You know, it kind of covers his back almost. No pun intended. Of obviously having 2 matches and then dropping the title. But, I mean, again, it would be incredible if that Priest thing happened that you said, because I really like that idea. And just that whole, like, oh my God, Drew's going to lose his shit. Like, I love that. And if it happens, I can't wait, because it will probably be, well, we're hoping that it's going to be live. So that would be an incredible live moment. If you go, mate, I called it. I called this back in fucking February. I called it. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it'd be fucking mint. But yeah, we'll see. Hopefully, we'll get some more clues on it. SmackDown, we've got Rock and Reigns this Friday, so that could prove that could start the development of direction of where we're actually going to go.
Well, again, it's the road to WrestleMania. They want views every Monday and every Friday, and preferably every Wednesday for NXT, even though that's going to have no kind of whatever on it. But they want the Monday and Friday views, so they're not going to reveal everything straight away. Like, they're just going to do it. So it's going to be a long time to wait, but
it's the thrill of the ride, isn't it? That's how they roll. It's what it is along the way. They're not so great at that part. They're good at delivering the big bit, but the bits in the middle, not so much. But yeah, we then had that segment with Rollins and Rhodes. Again, just to cap that one off, I thought was excellent. Yeah. We then had Kathy Kelly, who was backstage. Long story short, they announced Jey Uso versus Gunther for the IC title next week. Spot on, we called that. We then had Liv Morgan and Zoe Stark.
I don't like Zoe Stark.
Okay, go. Tell me why. Tell me why.
Her match against Rhea Ripley was one of the most boring things. She's got no personality. No, not the match. The match was okay. The promo she cut the week before against Rhea Ripley was just... And Rhea's mint on the mic. She's just awesome. It's mad. She's just great. A part of me wants to hate her, but maybe that's just because she's a good heel. Who knows? But Zoe Stark was just boring, and it was clear that she was out of her depth. And Liv Morgan's just...
Yeah, she's great. I like Liv Morgan. But, I mean, speaking of that, with Zoe Stark, you're absolutely right. Her promo work is just... It's just not hitting home. And the highlight is, I had also jotted this down in my notes, and luckily they're on here. So they had a little promo each prior to coming out to the ring. Liv Morgan's was basically, Rhea Ripley injured me. I want to take her out. Fair, valid, rate it.
Yeah.
So Zoe Stark's was, I've made history. I've taken out Becky Lynch and Trish Stratus. Becky Lynch is in the Elimination Chamber. You haven't taken her out at all. She's still being the top dog. She's going to go and win the Elimination Chamber. That's a lie. That isn't true. You haven't done that. I just had a little giggle to myself because I'm just like, you just lied to us. That just didn't happen.
It's like Cody coming out going, The Rock slapped me and I took him out. Like, what? No, you didn't.
He just like, never happened though, did it? Like, that's a lie. But yeah, the match.
Why do I even need to wrestle? I'm already women's champ.
Fine. I'm the undisputed women's champ. Whatever, Zoe. You do whatever the hell you want, hon. But yeah, the match is okay. I didn't have a lot of interest in it, I'll be honest. I found myself staring at the wall for quite a bit of time during this match because it was one of those again. I knew Liv Morgan was winning, and Zoe Stark, I do think there's a lot of potential there. I really, really do. But I think she is so far behind a lot of the women on the roster. That promo side, that character, like you're saying, she's so behind a lot of other people, and that is what is killing her at the minute. And it's just causing me not to just. I can't get on board. I can't get the interest because it's just not there.
I also found myself staring at the wall, and if by wall we both mean Zoe Stark's miniskirt, they're not Zoe Stark. Liv Morgan's miniskirt, then ruin that one.
Well, that was a botch. Oh dear. But yeah, again, you knew it was inevitable. You knew Liv Morgan was winning that. There was no way Zoe Stark was winning. And you know, I think she hit a code breaker and then hit the Oblivion on her.
Yeah.
And Liv Morgan 1, 2, 3. She wins. She's in the Elimination Chamber match with Becky Lynch and Bianca Belair.
The Oblivion's a bit of a weird move.
Yeah, it's a messy move, isn't it? It's not tidy. Like, it just doesn't. I agree. It's not a personal favorite of mine because I don't know how to describe it. Like I said, like messy, like clunky. It just doesn't flow very nicely at all.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I agree. I'm not a big fan.
I enjoy her use of the code breaker though. I thought that was good. She went for it earlier and then she missed it. Or she always countered it by being just a big old dude.
Strong. Yeah, literally. It's fucking. Yeah, I'm not a big fan. But yeah, you got Liv Morgan with Becky Lynch and Bianca Belair in the women's chamber match. Looking, again, like a pretty star-studded lineup in there. Fantastic. You then had Judgment Day backstage. And they were just walking through, just cackling to themselves like, we're Judgment Day. We wear all the gold. And then Truth just walks along with them. And he's just like, hey, what's up, guys? And it was, long story short, Priest just being like, right, I've got this. Basically, Truth, go away, leave us alone. We don't like you. You're not in Judgment Day. Fuck off, basically. And it was just one of those things, really. And Truth kind of just stands there with his puppy dog eyes, like, you guys, wait, what's going on? That then led to the match that we had, which was JD against R-Truth. And before the match started, R-Truth is frantically on his phone, not wanting to go out because he wants Mike Mizanin to come and help him out and back him up because Miz did such a good job the week before when he got twatted by 4 of them. So that was a great shout to ask for him back again because that sure would help. And then, obviously, Miz is in another country. Another city. Speaking of Miz, I don't know, did you hear the news about Maurice?
No.
Maurice, apparently, I mean, I might not be completely right on this. I'm sure I screenshotted this because I was going to send it to you, and clearly I didn't. Former WWE star Maurice diagnosed with very rare pre-cancer of the ovaries.
Oh, that's
which is quite sad. So that's not ideal. So that explains why Miz wasn't there this week, because I'm assuming, obviously, he's with Maurice and stuff like that. Obviously, I mean, she's probably not ever going to watch this, but we hope it's all good news and everything goes well for her, because she's a beb.
One of our 12 subscribers, Maurice. Still trying to get
one of them's my dog. But yeah, no. But yeah, obviously that's sad news. Hopefully she gets better. Miz wasn't there. obviously that's why he was then making the phone call, trying to get Miz to come over. Quite smart, really, to kind of put that sort of thing in there. You then have the match. You kind of had, I think it was Truth just using Cena's moveset.
Oh, I loved it.
I think has happened a few times now. I thought it was a one-off, but now Truth is just Cena. And
right time it says paying homage to John Cena, and it's like he's just doing his moves.
It's nuts, in it. It is crazy. Like I think, what was it? Was it the 5-knuckle shuffle he did?
Pardon?
No, it was his shoulder tackles. The minute he started doing his shoulder tackles, I'm like, this looks familiar. And then he went everything full Cena. I was like, does he use his own moves anymore? Is it just like John Truth over here? Like, I don't know. Cena. Sounds like he's from Manchester. Oh, you're right, Cena.
Cena.
Cena, how's it going, mate? Going down for a Coke and a burger.
It was I loved it because at one of them he missed. I don't know when he went. If he went for the what do you call it? Is Cena's finisher.
The AA attitude adjustment.
He went for the AA, and then he struggled off him, and they ended up kicking him in the stomach, and they did Booker T's leg drop. Do you know the scissor leg drop?
The scissor kick, yeah. It's a nice little move. I like that.
But yeah, so did all that. It was good. I mean, we've had this match like 8 times already, haven't we? Like, it's good, and they're both good. And any screen time of R-Truth, whether it be in the ring or backstage, is always entertaining. But there's only so many times we can talk about it.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, the pros of this is that fucking respect to Truth that he's still going at the age he's going for as long as he has. I know we mentioned it last week, but he can still put matches in, and he's been in there for just. I mean, I had the stat last week, didn't I? Yeah, he's 52-year-old and he's still flying around like, and fair fucking play to R-Truth. Like, I've got a lot of time for that. The con of all this is that, again, we mentioned this, but again, might be wrong. I have been wrong, i.e. Bronson Reed, and I'm adamant that it's going to be Miz and Truth that are going to take the tag titles off Judgment Day at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And we mentioned this last week, that we've got a long time to get there without this getting boring. And I agree that tonight, well, Monday's Raw felt boring. And it was like, it wasn't boring, but it was like, come on. Like, we had it last year when it was just Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn against the Judgment Day as the main event every single week. Yeah. And it's like, come on, it was variety, something different.
Especially after last week, it was probably supposed to be another Miz spot. But obviously, that makes a lot more sense now with the news that you've said. It was probably going to be another one of those spots, but something different happens where it's maybe finally they get one over on, and they just had to change it at the last minute. And obviously, R-Truth can't. Although that was meant when the match ended, and they all come after him, and R-Truth takes on nearly all of them, and then just gets stopped by Damian Priest. It was awesome. It was meant to see him just. Because I think he proper like deflected a couple of things and it looked proper smooth, and it was like he swung under a couple of punches and then hit him back, but it looked fluid. But obviously, if you've got a guy who's been doing it 30+ years, then it's gonna look like that, isn't it?
Literally, yeah, that was it. But yeah, 100%. Like, in conclusion, ironically, JD won. JD actually won the match, and yet you had all that afterwards where you're saying where they went for Truth and Truth was looking smooth. And it was DIY that came in for the save, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And they kind of, they stood tall with Truth. They had a little segment later on in the night kind of saying that, Miz gave us a ring and told us to come down. Like, I think they referred to him as like, my boy, the Miz, So Miz still had a link there that he obviously got this for Truth, and, DIY went down there because he's pally with them. Truth then retorts by saying, like, it was amazing. I can't believe, like, DX saved me. Like, we got Shawn Michaels and Triple H here. And I loved that it was, like, Ciampa Triple H. And I was like, I can see it. And even Ciampa kind of was like, he was, like, on the side when he kind of just went. I said, I'll take me call Triple H all day, He was very happy with that. But, yeah, it was good to get them to save. Again, it makes sense storyline. Miz has got the connection. Makes sense they come down for the save. They've obviously had a bit of beef with Judgment Day. I'm all right with it. Am I a fan of it? Yeah, it'll do. It makes sense. Unless you had someone like fucking, like, even, like, I mentioned all the time, like the Creed brothers. The Creed brothers come down and made the save. I'd be like, fair enough. I'm happy to see the Creed brothers on TV because they should be on TV, but it doesn't make sense. So that makes sense. It all interlinks. Yep, I love that. As long as things have a story, a purpose, and make sense, you've got me happy in any segment. Because I just hate when they have stuff that just is illogical, doesn't make sense, and is just stupid. I
like on the other side to that. That's why I think we make good co-hosts, because I like being confused, and I really I really enjoy being just just throwing a load of information and stuff at you, and me going, okay, all right. I think that's why I just love our truth, like the whole DX saving. I was just like, huh? Oh, okay, things said, yeah, okay, all right, I'm on board. All right, let's go.
Yeah, we'll take it. That's absolutely fine. We then had the segment with Sami Zayn where Cody basically loves him. We kind of mentioned that before.
Yeah.
We then went to Becky Lynch coming out, and she basically came out and cut this promo on about how, she loves the wrestling, she loves the business. She actually got a bit emotional at one point in this segment, like saying about how she's proud to be a mother, how her daughter is like looking up to her and stuff like this. Now she wants to teach her, get involved, this, that, and the other. She was like, but even though she's that young, she needs to understand why I'm doing what I'm doing, and I'm doing this because I love it. I want to be the champ. She's going to see me hurt. She's going to see me bloody. She's going to see this. She's going to see that. But she's going to know that her mum's a champion. This sort of stick. It was a decent little promo. I quite liked it. I really liked the fact that she says all this. It was like standard Becky promo, pretty decent. Then she starts talking about Rhea. And I will always enjoy... there's nothing I like more than when you've got like a heel slagging off and giving shit to a face champion. Like, I love that because it's just good classic heel heat. You're giving him shit, great. Like Drew's doing with CM Punk, fantastic. But I also love when a face gives credit to another, to Rhea. She's like, listen, Rhea's superb. You all love Rhea. You all love Mammy. You want her to win. Really putting her over and bigging her up. Rather than putting her down and burying, she's putting her up. She's saying we're on the same level. Like, we're on the same pedestal here. You know what I mean? And she's really, really bigging her up, saying about Rhea Ripley. She's like, but you all love her. You want her to win. Not many can beat her. It's been proven. She looks like indestructible. But I'm Becky Lynch. I'm the man. It's what I do. And I am going to beat her at WrestleMania. And out comes Nia Jax. And Nia Jax walks into the ring, and she's like, oh, Becky, your story is so... It touched me here. Your daughter would be so proud of you.
You're such a good mom.
And she opened the minute that she kind of went, and Becky, and I went, she's trolling, man. Like, this is so shit. Like, she just can't do it. Like, you can have it. Like,
there's a reason they had Rhea Ripley and Becky Lynch at the Las Vegas show, because everyone would have gone, we're not at the zoo. Why is this woman here?
What's this whale doing out of water?
What did you call me?
I have to come over here and squash you. Because every woman on the roster is gonna get squashed.
Is she miming? Is there someone with a microphone? Is there a small petite woman with a microphone making that noise? That's not coming out of her.
It's the nasalness of it. I think that's what gets me every time. But the accent is... It's like...
It's bizarre.
It's brilliant. I love it. Like, I've never been a big fan of Nia Jax, but the more that I've got into this accent, the more I just enjoy her coming out. Like, I just get to hear her talk about squashing the roster.
I'll squash you.
Like, fantastic. But she kind of cuts this promo, pretending to get emotional and all this. I was like, nah. And then she kind of turns around and she's like, when you do that sort of promo, you then normally hit a banger of a line at the end of it. Like, she kind of says all this. And for her to kind of end it with something like, but she's going to be so ashamed when you lose to me at WrestleMania. Like some sort of line to make the crowd go, ooh. But she didn't. She's like, but I'm going to win. And it was like, okay,
It's like, okay, but you do know you're not, right?
Yeah. But that was it. She was just kind of like, yeah, well, I'm going to win. So, yeah, cool. And he was like, all right, fair enough then. Nia, that's that then.
Meanwhile, Zoe Stark's in the locker room holding up a fake championship.
This is for me putting Becky on the shelf that never happened. So fucking dumb. Rhea Ripley's music hits. She just comes out and kicks shit out of Nia Jax. And then Rhea pushes Jax into Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch
kind of lemonade everywhere.
Oh yeah, because she had the drink that she got a drink to make a toast. Like
it was the lemonade.
The minute that happened, you knew there was a spot of that being thrown at someone.
It was a few months ago, wasn't it? When life gives you lemons make lemonade, something like that. And she came out the next day with, Triple H said it in a press conference. He said, when life gives you lemons, you make lemonade, something like that. And she came out the next day with a cup of lemonade. So she's just doing that bit again, basically.
Yeah.
Saying
it always reminds me.
Lemonade.
Yeah, always reminds me of that Vine. You know, the guy when he goes, when life gives you lemons. Like, I don't know if you've seen it, but it's fucking brilliant. It's so funny because he just has the weirdest face, like, when life gives you lemons. Like, it's fantastic. But, yeah, I think Becky Lynch hits Nia Jax. Nia Jax goes out of the ring. And then Becky and Rhea have a little exchange of looks. And that's pretty much the end of that segment.
Meanwhile, Nia Jax just rolls home.
I mean, she did.
She's so boring. Like she's
leave her alone. She's not.
Apparently she's so stiff in the ring as well. Like that whole punch out of nowhere. She's just awful at what she does. Mm. I didn't notice her on the family tree, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah, if you looked in the corner, there's like a nettle that says Nia Jax on it. We then had a decent little segment backstage with Drew McIntyre, Jackie Redmond again. She asked him about facing the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes next week and being one step closer to the World Heavyweight Championship. McIntyre says that he pushed Rhodes in this direction, and he was kind of basically saying, like, where's my acknowledgement? I told Cody to do this. Why is no one thanking me? Like, give me the credit that I deserve. Love it. I just love this character that Drew McIntyre is at the minute. I think it is fantastic.
Yeah.
And yeah, he basically just says that he turns around and goes, oh yeah, well, I've got Cody Rhodes next week. Everyone's like, aight, what a fucking great match that's going to be next week. Yeah. You've just, no big build up, no nothing. Just like, oh, by the way,
just dropping it.
Just going to be us two next week. And he was like, Cody better, watch what he's saying or watch what he's doing because he might not make it to WrestleMania. Like CM Punk. Yes, Drew, you're amazing. Fantastic. Absolutely fucking love it.
He's not washed that shirt in about 3 weeks now.
No. Fuck it, he don't need to. But yeah. Excuse me. Spot on, fantastic that. Love what Drew McIntyre is doing at the minute. We then moved on to the next Elimination Chamber match of the night, which was LA Knight against Ivar.
Yeah.
Yeah. And again, I thought, solid match.
Yeah.
It was solid. I don't think it was great. I thought it was solid.
I'm starting to love Ivar. Again, our guess was wrong. So LA Knight went on to win, and we've hit the BFT, and he's going to go to the Elimination Chamber. But we both guessed that because he came out and ruined AJ's match, that AJ had come out and ruined his match, making them up to a match at Elimination Chamber. Wrong, obviously, but you need LA Knight in the Elimination Chamber. We should have. I mean, you said it to start with, and I kind of changed your mind over the course of the episode by telling you my theory.
Yeah.
Which you should know by now. All of my theories are batshit. It's plucked from the air of what I think might be good, but this is why I'm not in the screenwriter's room. Like, Pete, go sit in the corner. Okay, guys. It was a solid match, but I'm starting to appreciate Ivar more and more and more as an athlete. He's incredible. He's so good.
I completely agree. Again, it's going to be the character. Is he going to grow big? I don't think he's ever going to hit main event status. I think high mid-card, I think is totally a fair position for him.
Yeah.
Because I think he's very, very good. Like the best thing that happened to him was his tag team partner getting injured for about a year. Like it's just giving him the chance to shine. Absolutely fine. I rate it. I've got
now
time
all
for
he,
it.
now all he needs to do is push Valhalla down the stairs, and he.
She's an interesting one, Valhalla, isn't she? I
God.
like that it's something a bit different, but I don't know.
Where
It's
she
just
never
for
has
it's for the character and for the gimmick, isn't it? And it adds that dimension, but there's not really any payoff.
because they don't have time because they've got so many talented. If she's talented, give her a singles match.
Yeah. I mean, the thing was, she was formerly Sarah Logan. I don't know if you remember Sarah Logan. She was part of the Riot Squad when you had Ruby Riott, Liv Morgan, and Sarah Logan. That was the three. That was their group when they came up from NXT. Ruby Riott is now in AEW. I couldn't tell you what she's called now, but she's in that. And obviously, Liv Morgan gradually got. Well, she didn't get much of a push. The fans really pushed for her to get a push, and now she's pretty well established as your higher card.
Also,
and then Sarah Logan kind of sucked and wasn't very good, and then got injured and got sacked.
Liv Morgan's whole getting caught with a 10 bag of weed on her, like that really worked. Like the crowd loved that.
Yeah, absolutely, are all for it. Yep, no problems here. We are fine with that. But yeah, LA Knight came out on top. LA Knight won, as you said, hit the BFT. I thought decent enough match.
Again, his superplex. There's got to be something said about that. I love that gimmick. I love that whole thing of getting pushed down. You know it's going to happen. Gets to the second rope, gets pushed off, walks away, storms back, and it's so cool. It's such a good move. The jumping up to the top ropes, both feet on him, and then superplexing Ivy. It was a pretty shitty superplex, but how good can it be on a 300-pound plus man? Like,
yeah, and it's again like you said, it's the way he gets into that position. Like, you know, somewhere you have to get up there, and then you watch the person on the turnbuckle have to adjust their feet, and it can take a while. Yeah. Like, it's not like a smooth transition, you know, for the move. Whereas with LA Knight, you ain't got a choice because he's running up there. You've got to be ready because he's running up, he's grabbing you, and he's going. So you better be fucking prepared.
Pretty much, it's pretty much just his second signature. He's got the elbow drop, and he's got that.
Yeah, in theory, and then obviously his finish is his BFT, isn't it?
BFT, yeah.
Like, that's it. Like, I think his moveset in general for Knights ain't anything special. It's very, very bog standard wrestler. But because of his character and gimmick, it puts him levels above.
Yeah.
But again, right shout. Another big popular name in that Elimination Chamber.
100%.
Which, again, there's 2 spots to fill. And I know one of them's probably going to be Logan Paul. And I can't even remember what the other match is, which isn't great, is it? No idea.
We said them all the other night.
We did indeed. And if I had my notes, I'd be able to have a little look.
Do a quick Google here. 1 second while I just do a Google.
Yep. So, while you're doing that, Sami Zayn had a backstage segment. Drew McIntyre's just stood in his way. Drew says, keep your name out of my mouth, even though it's Drew McIntyre that keeps talking about Sami Zayn. And Sami Zayn just goes, can you move out my way, please? You're in my way. And Drew's like, yeah, of course. There you go, mate. Off your pot. See you later, mate. And he just strolls through. And that's that, really. We then had a nice little segment in the general manager's office of Adam Pearce, where it was the weekly segment of a lot of girls are here and they're really getting on my nerves.
Oh, so bloody women!
In this week's episode of Girls Getting on My Nerves by Adam Pearce, we had Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell, who were having a chat with him about, getting an opportunity because they made reference to there being a last chance battle royal match for the last spot in the Elimination Chamber. And they were wanting to, put their name in the hat. In walks Chelsea Green. Fantastic. And Chelsea Green basically saying that she needs to be in the Elimination Chamber because she's fucking brilliant. And she's not wrong, to be honest. That's wrong. Basically her pitch.
She just needs to get away from Piper Niven before she eats her.
I disagree because I love Piper Niven. I love the development of Piper Niven's character with Chelsea Green because Piper Niven started as, I'm Scottish, I'm big, I'm angry, I don't talk. And now she's inheriting week by week the little sassiness that Chelsea Green has, and I love it. It's little things like where Chelsea Green's like, come on, P, and Piper Niven's just like, and they kind of walk. Like, I love it. I love that because their friendship is building, they're gradually becoming a similar character. I'd love it.
To the witches gimmick.
Which witches gimmick?
They were going to make them witches.
No, there's already witches. That's Isla Sky and Alba Fire. There's literally, they are dubbed as witches.
Like, right.
But they've appeared once since they debuted about 4 or 5 months ago.
Quick one. Oh, it could have been, tell you what it was then when I was watching it. They must have debuted against Chelsea Green and Piper Niven.
Yeah, they could have done.
Confused.
Yeah.
Right, so it's The Miz and Logan Paul.
Yeah.
So it's going to have to be Logan Paul if The Miz is going to carry on this R-Truth thing. And Kevin Owens, Dom Mysterio.
Of course it is. Yeah, KO. Yeah. And Kevin Owens is probably going to be in there as well.
It'd be awesome to see what Dom could do there, though.
Oh, yeah. That would be great. That would be great.
Just be everyone's punch.
It's literally, he'll just be the bitch boy. Hard to see anything past KO there, to be honest.
Yeah,
but that would be pretty cool. And then you know that Dom and Logan Paul are kind of team up because they've had a bit of history. You know, just hating Rey Mysterio because obviously Logan won the title from Rey. So
on the other side, KO and Logan Paul obviously have their feud. Logan's not letting him have another shot. So them in the chamber together would be, yeah.
You think that's where they're going to rekindle that sort of,
let's say Bobby Lashley's like the only guy without an agenda in the Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, it annoys me. And again, Bronson Reed would be the same thing, but you'd go, but there's a reason because it's in Australia. yeah, literally. Whereas Bobby Lashley, you're just kind of like, just thrown in there. I don't know. I stand by that. It's a really baffling decision, that. But they might have a plan, they might not. Who knows? But Chelsea Green goes on to basically, that's where we were. We were talking about Chelsea Green, and we ended up talking about Bobby Lashley. but yeah,
they do look like.
Yeah, Chelsea Green is saying that she's not a loser like these two here, and that's Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark. But who should be behind them? It's Zoe Stark and Shayna Baszler. And they kind of like, I think Baszler, just her comment was just so poor. It was just like, well, since we're losers, I'm gonna tear you apart limb by limb, and that's what she does all the time. All Shayna Baszler, I mean, God help her when she's eating chicken wings, she's like limb by limb, like, that's it. That's all she'll fucking do.
A little bit of a factoid for you. It wasn't actually Zoe Stark. It was. Listen, it was a cutout of Zoe Stark. It just had all the same personality as Zoe Stark.
It wasn't actually Zoe Stark. It was just a piece of toast because you couldn't really tell the difference because they're both as boring as each other. A piece of toast with no butter on it, may I add. A dry piece of toast. That is Zoe Stark.
Oh, my God.
Oh, for fuck's sake. But yeah, so they kind of said, we're gonna kick fuck out of you next week. And then Chelsea Green turns around to Adam Pearce and goes, "You have glasses? How didn't you see that?" Or what was it? It's something along those lines. She basically made a remark to him about his glasses. He's like, "They were stood there. Why didn't you tell me?" You know what I mean? Like, It was just Chelsea Green being Chelsea Green. Of just hitting a little line like that that's just fucking absolutely brilliant.
Her and Zack Ryder deserve each other all day long.
Yeah, Matt Cardona, like,
killing it on the indie scene.
Oh, he really is. It would be interesting to see if he ever makes a return to WWE.
Did you see what he did with when? Really quick side note: when her and Piper, when she won the title, Matt Cardona went out, bought overnighted a replica of the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship, and took it out with his belt and wore it.
Oh, fantastic! Yeah, he is brilliant. Like I follow him on Twitter. Like, literally, I followed him on there for ages because he's always entertaining. He'll always put funny stuff on there anyway. So I will just constantly get pop-ups from him about some of the shit that he's doing and, you know, just little random one-liners and this, like, one tweets or whatever, you know what I mean? But he is a funny bastard. And like you said, he's killing it on that independent circuit. Like, got a lot of time for that. But yeah, we finished that little segment backstage and we have Sami Zayn and Nakamura in the main event, which means Nakamura has. I think that was the main event, right? Main event. Nakamura has main evented Raw for the past 2 weeks, which is fucking mind-boggling, really. Like, again, I echo what you say. I don't hate Nakamura by any stretch, but to have him main event in 2 weeks in a row is
his first
bizarre.
His first backstage, but like I said it before, and like the anime one was great because that was after a few of the ones backstage. I like the whole backstage thing, but there's only so far he can go without someone finally turning around to him and going, "Listen, Shinsuke, you're gonna have to learn some of the language." It's like you're gonna have to eventually come out and do a face to face. Like,
could you just imagine him cutting his promo in Japanese and just going, "Hello, my name is Shin." And then back to his Japanese again. It's like me, like when I'll sit there, I know random bits of French. If I put them all together, it sounds like I'm saying something in French. I'm not. I'm just sat there saying like, "My name is Ham Cat" or something like that. Like, but if I say it in French, the delivery is fucking fantastic. Like if I'm like, "Je suis jambon chat," it's like, oh, who's this French guy over here? Nah, I just said I am Ham Cat. You know what I mean?
My favourite one is, and I love this, I tried learning Spanish for a while and I got up to one sentence. Now I've forgotten everything before this sentence. But ¿Dónde están mis pantalones? Ellos regimentente. Where are my pants?
I love it.
Where are my pants? It is urgent. That's all I know.
Well, to be fair, I was taught some Spanish off a good friend of ours. I don't know if you've heard it before. Where he goes, "Eso sí que es."
Eso sí que es.
Do you know what that means?
I know what it means.
Hey, well, for you guys at home, it means socks.
Eso sí que es. Eso sí que
Eso
es.
sí que es.
Por favor.
It's always one of my favourites. Do you know what? I use that frequently.
Right,
Do you know any Spanish? Yeah. Eso sí que es.
Eso
No,
sí
what does that mean? And I go, socks. And they're like,
"Two cervezas, por favor. Eso sí que es." You can use it in anything. It's just...
yeah. It just reminds me of like a Joey line from like Friends. You know what I mean? That's just something he come out with.
Je m'appelle. Je m'appelle. Flip, flip, flip.
Oh, it's fucking incredible. But yeah, Zayn, Nakamura, nah. By this point of Raw, I had completely lost interest. I was really not interested in seeing a Nakamura in the main event again, and I know for a fact I paid minimal attention to this match.
What was more boring? I'm going to skip right to the end because it was.
Go for it because I'm the same.
What was more boring was that it's just disheartening for Sammy at this point because if Drew came in, knocked Sammy out, Shinsuke hit him in the back of the head with a Kinshasa or whatever it's called. Kinshasa. That sounds Spanish as well. Kinshasa. That's fine. But the fact that Drew just came to the side of the ring and Sammy just kind of looked at him, but then he made sure his back wasn't turned to Shinsuke. I'm watching. And they turned back to Drew. And then he got hit in the back of the knee. And it's like, he's not even doing anything at this point. He's just stood there.
Yeah,
it's
literally. Like it is. It's just stupid. You know, one of them. Oh yeah, so do I. I completely agree. Like he's absolutely brilliant.
I like how you gave me a second. Like I was literally just saying, I love Sami Zayn. Like that's it.
Sami Zayn then turns around into a Kinshasa, I think it was.
No, he gets hit in the back of the leg. He drop kicks. Shinsuke drop kicks him in the back of the legs whilst he's turned around. Then he falls to his knees, and then Shinsuke does the Shinkasa.
Yeah.
Shinhasa, whatever.
Yeah, and that's it, really, isn't it? And then obviously
Cody
gets the win, and you're kind of like, Nakamura won. Like obviously with the distraction,
a main event.
I'm surprised. I thought Nakamura was just going to be non-existent, but at the end of the day, on a technicality, he's got a dub.
I think that's got a lot to do with his contract that he came when he came over from New Japan. That he wins X amount of matches, and they think, how much can we do with a guy like that? He's great. Again, he's really good.
He is.
He's a good villain, but you can't see him going anywhere else. What's he going to do? Find another face and cut those promos with him? Like, how much longer can you do that?
And that's it. And he is getting on. Like, he's on that backside. He's on the opposite end of his career now. You know what I mean? Like, and
yeah,
I feel bad because he's good. He is technically excellent in the ring, but he's on the other side. There's other people there. He ain't that main event guy, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I just can't see it. But yeah, he gets the win. Him and McIntyre start beating down Sami Zayn. Out comes good old Cody Rhodes to make the save. Yep, and that kind of is going to start up that team Cody that is getting built to help him. That you've got Sami Zayn. We obviously spoke about it earlier. Sami Zayn's got his back for this match against Reigns, so that's where all that is going to slowly start to unfold as the weeks continue. But yeah, I think for me personally, I wasn't big on this Raw. It had a few segments in there, like I said, the Cody and Seth segment, excellent. That was the best part by a country mile for me. I enjoyed the opening match with the trios. I thought that was good, fair play. But apart from that, I thought it was okay. I mean, for me, I'd probably give it 3.5, 4 out of 10. It was definitely on the lower end of scale of Raw. Like the best way to judge it is when you sit there and you go, if I watch Raw next week, am I going to have missed anything that makes me think, shit, I need to go back and watch that Raw? Whereas a lot of it, you could just be like, meh, I don't really care.
I think of it like I did it earlier, like I'm stuck. Well, no, I didn't. I got the right match. But if I find myself talking about weeks before in the week that we're talking about this episode, then it's like, well, it's not that great.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
We could literally on that SmackDown and that Raw press on the press conference, on Thursday, Friday, we could have done 4 hours talking about just that
without a shadow of a doubt.
Anything else?
Yeah.
So it's one of those. It's like we've gone on a lot of tangents as we never do. So yeah, I mean, it wasn't great. I'd go 4. I'd probably I'd go 3.
Yeah. That's it. I think we're both on that same level, aren't we? About this week's. As we said, I think Friday's going to be a really, really interesting SmackDown. So definitely looking forward to that. Obviously, hopefully, we should be able to record and get that out on the Saturday. That's the dream. I know, again, we're just finding it quite difficult, aren't we, to get these times and get that consistency. But
I think the consistency should work for Monday night to Tuesdays every single week now, unless something goes on. And someone doesn't have a poorly tummy, we should be all right.
Or someone doesn't have a girlfriend. You nerd.
Sorry, my bad, guys.
But yeah, no, nice to be back here again, getting this review, getting something else out there. And I shall see you again on Saturday. Have you got any final thoughts? I do enjoy a Pete final thoughts when it comes to these podcasts.
A Pete final thought would be, how much of a sex predator is Vince McMahon?
Out of 10?
No, just I'll leave that with you. You go to bed thinking about that tonight.
Right, do you know what? That certainly is a final thought. I've got a lot of time for that. But yeah, it has been myself, Kieran Faz Farrago, once again on Faz Wrestling, dropping another episode out there again. And you can please, if you made it this far, can you please give us like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff, just to help us out growing as a channel and getting us more out there, getting more people involved. The more people involved, the more feedback we get, the more we can integrate people into shows and things like that. So any sort of push out there would be fantastic.
And the more final thoughts you get.
And the more final thoughts you get, the more people are thinking those final thoughts, you know what I mean? So
I hope they do.
It is. It's all for the benefit. But yes, thank you again for joining me, brother. Really appreciate it. I shall see you on Saturday. Everyone else, peace out, hombres.
Bye-bye.